Alright, so a few weeks after that, I'm like crushing now inside. I'm depressed, I'm out of money, my engineers left. It's just like fucking life sucks, right? And now my brothers, I hadn't seen my family for 4 years. My brothers decide to visit me in shiny Silicon Valley for a week to kind of see how their brother, their famous entrepreneurial brother, is in Silicon Valley, what the glamorous life is like. You know, and they arrived at the worst week ever. I mean, even the fucking weather. It was the coldest, rainiest week I've ever seen in 8 years of San Francisco. It was just raining like fucking hell, right? And I buy tickets for the San Francisco Giants LA Lakers game, and the tickets are invalid, and we're like standing in the rain, can't get into the game, and we're missing the train. It's just the shittiest day ever. I fucking hate my life. We're right back at my house, or my apartment. We go upstairs, we're soaking fucking wet. And there's a yellow notice on the door. It's like one of those movies I was watching growing up, the American movies, where the hero, you know, is out of money, didn't pay the electrical bill, and they just cut off electricity. It was one of those fuckers. And I'm like, holy shit, and we go in, everything is off, water, electricity, nothing works anymore. That night, my brothers were sleeping in my bed with their fucking clothes on, their jackets, caps. They were freezing, and I was on the ground looking at them. And I've never felt more horrible than that moment. I felt like fucking shit. My heart broke. I was like, all right, this is it. I'm the biggest fucking failure that ever existed. And then, you know, after a few weeks later, I decided, all right, I can't take this anymore. And here's a tip for everyone that's in a situation where they've been doing the startup. Like, my startup was dead after 2 years. It was a zombie startup for 3 years. I pushed it up. Like, it was a dead corpse, and I was just still going out, you know, putting on clothes, having dinner. No, everything is okay. It was just a skeleton. Like, everything is fine. It's going to be okay. Once I close an article, we're going to put some skin and some meat on this motherfucker. We're going to, like, make this Frankenstein really awesome. It was dead, right? But the problem was I could not accept that failure, that defeat. So what happened eventually is the team came together, all the people that were helping me. We sat down and we did a nice cop-out. And this is a trick you can all use. If you can't face failure, I'll give it an alternative. We all sat down, we looked at each other, and we said, we're not failing and we're not quitting, but we're gonna take a break. So we're just taking a little vacation. 3 months, everybody takes off a 3-month vacation to go make some money so you can pay for food and electricity, and then in 3 months we'll come back and we'll decide what the master plan is to move on from it. Everybody looked at each other in the eye, we all knew we're not coming fucking back ever. Like ever, but everybody was like, yes, that's the plan. It's an awesome plan, let's just do that. You know, 2 weeks later, we all emailed each other like, we're not coming fucking back ever, I don't want to see you. You know, we're all friends, but it was clear this thing was dead, we just could not accept it. But eventually we killed it. And here's what happened next. After we killed it, for the first time in my life, I really wanted to have a job and work somewhere else and get some money, get back on my feet, and then I stumbled into my next startup. And that company started off really amazingly well, like everything, first few weeks, explosive growth, got accepted in YC, seed fund, seed round, we got like press, Ashton Kutcher tweeting about us, fucking everything was just awesome. Our growth curve, we printed on t-shirts when we were talking to investors. It's like, I talk to you here, now it's here, you'd be there, like, and it was like, we were all like, holy shit, this is not always that hard. And then, you know, it got hard again. You know, that growth curve went like this, and then it flattened. Perfectly timed 3 weeks after we closed our funding round. Flattened out. And we had to find a way to overcome that, and we did. That's when we pivoted to what we did with Elastic Sales. And we started doing outsourced sales services for other companies. And eventually, we pivoted from Elastic Sales to what we're doing now, which is Close.io, for the last 2.5 years, very successfully, very profitably. And that transition, there was a moment that was the worst moment of my life as an entrepreneur. You know, what would I be if I didn't share it with you? So, here's the deal. We have this big services team, right? All these people doing sales for all these other companies. And we decide that we need to focus purely on the software. The software needs maybe 6, maybe 7 people. It doesn't need that big of a group of people. So we decided that we need to fire, let go half of the team. Now, I have fired people before, and it sucks. It's the worst thing about being an entrepreneur is firing people. But I never had to fire a bunch of people in one day. It was also the time where I was just a new dad. I hadn't slept for fucking 4 months. You know, baby was crying all night long. And I'm like carrying this fucking burden of I have to fire all these people. How the fuck do I do it? Also, people I liked, I didn't want to let them go. They were all really good at what they were doing. So I was fucking in hell personally, and I was troubled trying to figure out how the fuck do you do this in a humane way? What do? I bring everybody in one room and go, you're fired? Like what? Do I have them one by one come in and go, you're fired? Now go out and don't cry because I have to tell this to a bunch of other people first before you, like, how the fuck do you do this in a like human, good way? So I struggled with it. Eventually I came up with a plan. That morning, I didn't sleep at night. That morning I drive to work, and I remember that one of the employees that I hired a year and a half ago before, she told me, I only want you to make me one promise. If you ever let me go, if you ever find me, I want a fucking cake, and I want you to play Bye 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 from NSYNC. I was like, done deal, no problem. And I remember that all the way to fucking work. I'm like, holy shit, I turn around, I go to Safeway, I try to find a fucking cake, I buy it like an idiot, I download NSYNC Bye 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 on my way to work, like just in case she wants it. I want to keep my word, I put it in the fridge, and here's what we did. I had a one-on-one session with everybody in the company, fired or not. And I told everybody, here's the situation, here's why we need to do what we need to do. And then I told them, if I wanted them to stay with the company, or if we couldn't have them stay, if we had to let them go. And then we did two things. Every time I had to tell somebody that I had to let them go, we hugged. Some cases we cried a little bit. And then the next thing we did is we put 2 events in our calendars with every single person. The first event in the calendar was next week. I gave every person 2 hours of my time, and I said, we're gonna sit down, because once you leave this place, we're saying we're friends and everything is great, and I'm telling you I want to help you. You say, yes, then I'm gonna take your help, but the moment you're outside that motherfucker, you're not gonna want to talk to me again, right? At least for a certain while. So we're putting something in the calendar right now. 2 hours next week, I want you to think about, what do you want to do? Whatever it is, start a business, work somewhere else, whatever it is. I'm going to give you 2 hours of my time dedicated to doing anything and everything I can to help you accomplish that. With everyone. And the second thing we put in the calendar is for everyone in the company, in 3 months' time, to have a dinner. We're going to pay dinner, we're going to get everybody together to see what the fuck is everyone doing, right? Since we broke up the family. And the last person I talked to is the lady that wanted the cake and NSYNC, right? So at the end of my talk, I look at her and I go, you know, I made you a promise a while ago, and I really don't want to keep the promise, and you really don't need to have, but if you want, I have a cake. If you want the cake, I can get the cake. She's like, you have a fucking cake? That's awesome, yes! She's like, what about NSYNC? I'm like, yeah, I downloaded the song so I can play the song if you want to hear it. She's like, no. I didn't say you're gonna play the song. I said you're gonna dance it. I'm like, no fucking way. In hell am I dancing Bye Bye Bye? She's like, no, you made a promise, you have to. I'm like, no way, no way. So, suffice to say, we can't play video here. So this is the video of me dancing Bye 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 in front of all the people I let go to NSYNC while they're having cake. I also told them not to record me, but there's like 4 videos of that. And there's a blog post you can find on our blog, blog.close.io, where you can watch that video. And a friend of mine watched that, and he's like, I remember you being a better dancer. I'm like, motherfucker, I didn't want to try to dance well. The whole idea was for me to be an idiot and make a fool out of myself so other people feel good, not to dance like as good as I can. It's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. I was just wondering why you're dancing so badly. Jesus. So here's what happened. All of these people, everybody we let go, everyone is a customer of Closeout today. Every single person became a director of sales, VP of sales, sales manager, the high growth business. They all turned around, and the first thing they did is they bought the software. Some of them being some of our biggest customers. Internally, we joke this is the most unscalable growth hack of all times. Just hire everybody who wants to be a customer and then let them go. But do it in a really respectful way so they want to still have a relationship with you. And you have to have really good software so they really want to buy it. So, now that you guys know how, what I do when I fire people, let me tell you that we're hiring people. Alright, so this is the team in Berlin a few days ago. What we're doing right now is, as a company, we are insanely successful. We're out-competing companies. Even the smallest competitors that we have are 150, 200 employees. We're 8. And we're having more revenue, we have insane growth, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. So we're a very small team, but we're looking to hire. The funny thing is we're looking to hire a bunch of people in Berlin. Right? We're doing team every 3 months, the entire team travels together. This month, we're traveling in Berlin. So everybody's here. The team stand up real quick. Bunch of people. That's the closeout team right here. If you want a job, if you want to work for an awesome Silicon Valley startup and live the bohemian, amazing Berlin lifestyle, talk to one of these guys or to me directly. And also, tomorrow is Startup Safari, and we're going to be part of it. So if you want to visit us at our Airbnb loft working, you can come by 3 p.m. tomorrow and say hi. You know, maybe we'll have some cake, maybe I'll dance. Bye. Who knows? All right, so last 2 thoughts, so to give you something practical. Because entrepreneurship is really fucking hard, and you're gonna have a lot of moments that are gonna be really, really painful. But the bad news is I can't take that pain away. It's gonna suck. You know how many moments I had where I thought, this is gonna make a great story in the book of my life. But in that moment, it still felt horrible, horrible, absolutely crushing. It was like I fucking hate every little bit of it, but it's a great story. Someday I'm going to tell this on a stage. I can't take that pain away, but what I can do is give you a few tips on how to manage the emotional roller coaster of being an entrepreneur. So here's the problem about entrepreneurship. Even as over long periods of time, you're progressing in your career. The second line is almost not seeable. Just imagine a line that goes up and to the right, but it goes up in like little waves, right? Success isn't linear, so things go up and down, but the trend is going upwards. The problem is that the emotional journey you're making is just, I'm very happy, I'm very happy, I'm very unhappy, I'm very unhappy, I'm happy, unhappy, I'm very unhappy, I'm very unhappy. You don't have the distance to have perspective to see that, well, over the past 10 years, I've grown a lot. No, it just fucking sucks right now. Your biggest hire just left. The financing round broke down. Whatever the hell happened, it just sucks and you're gonna feel horrible. So the thing that you need to do is you need to take care of your emotional household. You need to take care of your emotional household. You need to make sure that you do a few things every day to keep some level of balance so that entrepreneurship doesn't fuck you up emotionally. Seriously. You need to meditate. You need to work out. You need to take time off. You need to eat healthy. You need to do things that are good for the soul. You need to have a journal. Write down what is good that's happening. I have a journal every month. I have a bullet point journal of what was awesome. What is happening that's awesome. To keep perspective and keep reminding yourself of the entire journey that you're taking, not just the emotional, shitty day that you're just experiencing.